Number 6 versus number 12. In the Travel Ball Select National Rankings, number 6 versus number 12 for the national crown. SBA Bolts National from North Carolina, number 6 in America. Had a little battle with it inside of pool play. Played in a good pool with Team Elite from the state of Georgia. USA Prime Coastal Stars, another North Carolinian club. And the Borough Baseball Club, who we've grown accustomed to seeing out of, and his coach, and he was pointing at his right shoulder. He's trying to stay in the ball game. I think he may have just felt a little twinge there. Looks like he's going to stay in. Canes were 4-0 inside of pool play. 41-10, they outscored their opponents in pool play. So they're 8-1 overall after losing their opening game of bracketed play. So a couple of teams on a tear here. 6-4 ball game. Now into the top half of the 5th inning. 6-4, top of the 5th. Boys in blue with a 2-run lead. I'm sorry, the Canes with a 2-run lead. I beg your pardon.
The home plate umpire.
Humphreys to right. Got a chance to fall and does for a base hit and gets past the right fielder. Humphreys making his way to second. Feet first, sliding, safe. Humphreys' second extra base hit of the ball game. He's now 2 for 3 with a ground out, an RBI triple, and this double.
Yeah, that turf hop will get you. If teams are not used to playing on turf, those types of balls will take a funny bounce, and that one just got up and over the young man's head. Turns a single into a double, which is unfortunate for the right fielder there, but fortunate for the Canes.
McCrory now, Walker McCrory. 0 for 2. Ground out, fly out. Courtesy runner comes in for Humphreys, who of course is the pitcher. That'll be Earl once again. And that looks like it'll be the end of the day on the mound for Mr. Romano.
Well, I think Coach Thompson here wanted to see him throw maybe one more pitch. Didn't like what he saw. Before the inning started, the home plate umpire, Jose Polanco, walked out to the young man, which he did a great job of relaying the message to the coaches that was not a mound visit. It was out there for an injury.
Right.
So good job by him communicating that to all. But clearly on that very next pitch, Coach Thompson saw something he didn't like and decided to make a change. So I applaud him for taking the young man's health into consideration. And it's not about the ball game and what we have. It's about that young man going on and being able to play baseball into his high school career. So great job by Coach Thompson there.
So Garrick Hargett going to take over. Romano will move over to the third base bag.
You know, speaking of our home plate umpire, Jose, our crew out here today, we got a 3-man crew that we put on for all the championship games.
Awesome.
It's not a traditional 2-man crew. We got Don Wiggins at first base and Matt Carnahan at third base. So they have numerous years of high school experience. So the 3-man rotation for those guys is just like another day in the park.
Back into the screen. I was talking to home plate umpire about that infield fly a little earlier, as a matter of fact, after it took place. This dude can whop them. So Hargett is welcomed into the fray on the mound by a kid who can put a charge into one.
Well, this situation goes back to what we talked about in the early innings, Chris. I mean, it's a 2-run lead. It's a 5th inning. It's getting late. That's a big run out there at second base.
Yep. Yeah, again, for those of you maybe just joining us or you're not familiar, we're only playing 6. So if you follow Major League Baseball, this is basically the equivalent of the top half of the 8th inning. And a massive statistical difference between a 2-run lead and a 3-run lead, which you see so often in especially big league baseball. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I used to. Keep them in this briefcase here, but
just take our word for it.
I promise you it's massive. You can look at all that stuff up online.
It's on the internet. And if it's on the internet, it's true.
Absolutely right. Swing and a miss. How about that pitch?
Big out. That's a big out by the Bolts.
I'll need a couple more. Will Hargett as Sam Moore and Sawyer Bowman scheduled to be the next two men. Moore with a solo home run and a pop out. Bowman behind him with a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. Canes to plate up by 2. Tails outside, fastball. Righty from the right side of the rubber. Set from the stretch and deals. Fastball just above the belt buckle, inside corner.
Good fastball there. Got it on his hands. He was looking for something out over the plate. But that's a good take. That's something you can't handle. Just let that one go by, eat the strike, and move on.
Back into the screen. Good job not flinching.
Well, you know what?
No flinch out of either one of us.
I was just getting ready to reference that. You can tell that we're getting older.
Yeah, we've been here.
We've here.
We've seen it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you can tell we're getting older because normally we would be flinching and everything else. So my thoughts exactly.
We've seen too much.
Nice pitch.
It's like being in a war. You've been there for a while. The gunfire,
yeah,
the bullets flying, the bombs exploding. Don't even faze you anymore. Reminds me of Band of Brothers or
Band
the
of
Pacific. When the new kids come in, throw down to third, too high, goes into left. Earl pops up. He's coming to the plate, and he has scored his second run of the ball game. Throw down to second. They'll have him dead to rights. But that's a big, big run that comes across in this fifth inning to make it a 7-4 ball game.
Yeah, big run to make it 7-4. But kudos to the Bolts for not forgetting that there's another runner on base. The catcher knew he didn't have a play. He charged the ball. The run's going to score. Easily threw the runner out at second base.
So the base is clean with 2 men out. More little jam job out at second, and that'll be the frame.
Big run.
Yeah.
Big run.
Yeah, very big run, especially after that result.
Great job by the Canes by being aggressive, getting that third run on the board. So now you've got a 3-run lead with 2 innings to go.
1 hit, extra base hit, a double from Asher Humphreys. A throw into left field on the air allows a run to come across and score. 1 run in the frame, now 7-4. That's getting late. The boys in 2 shades of blue, SBA Bolts National. Now down 7-4. Canes got 5 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. Just a moment ago adding their 7th run. Humphreys kicks and fires. Max Stevenson. I'm sorry, Garrett Hargett. No, Max Stevenson, absolutely right. SBA got 2 in the second, 2 in the third for their 4 runs. So 7-4 here. Bottom of the 5th. Ground ball at short. Throw high, and he's reached. So Stevenson going to reach on an E6, and that's exactly what the winner's bracket team needed.
Again, putting the ball in play, ground ball, sails a little bit on him. You got a big target over at first base, so normally you have that confidence that kid's going to climb the ladder, but sometimes it's still too tall.
Hargett.
Bolts did everything he could to fight that one off.
Oliver Bowden on deck. It's a big at-bat. Humphreys checks a runner. Left-hander deals.
Tremendous pitch by that young man. Something low and away, down out of the zone. I mean, that is impressive for an 11-year-old.
Looked like a sinker, but surely he didn't just throw a sinker. Change or curve off the outside corner. Very little bend on that one.
Chris, he set him up now with 2 outsides. He's got him leaning out over the plate. Watch right here. If he's doing what I think he should do, he should come in hard with a fastball on the hands.
Yep. Oh, maybe
away.
here. Yeah,
Stays
maybe
away.
here. You'll notice, perhaps, if you can catch it on the camera, Hargett has choked up as well. Trying to shorten his swing a little bit. Sometimes that can be a challenge to teach young ball players. I'll tell you, I'm blessed. My young guy,
yeah,
man, he took to that like it was
natural,
like a fish to water. He loved it. Back into the screen. And when I say into the screen, I mean literally.
Into the screen.
Into
it's
the
stuck
screen.
in the link.
Well, this is a great battle. Left it high. The tying run coming to the plate with nobody out. 3 walks for Hargett. How about that?
Great eye by the young man. Clearly, 3 walks. He knows a strike when he sees it.
Boy, they're going to intentionally walk Bowden? How about that to load him up? Well, you know, there's 2 ways of thinking of this. But I'll tell you, it's tough for me to put the potential tying run on the base pads here. I know what, obviously what Andy King is thinking, but boy, I have a tough time putting the tying run on the base pads.
We saw this happen last year in the 12-year-old championship. They walked Carter Moon from the TG Diamondbacks to load the bases. And one of your most famous calls in TBS history, Dexter McClellan Jr. hits a grand slam over center field.
Bo Thompson to left and deep, way back there and caught just shy of the track. Runner going to tag at third. Man from second to third, and he is safe. Coming in to score is Stevenson. Thompson with a sac fly and an RBI. That'll make it a 7-5 ball game as I update my score sheet here.
Well, I tell you what, the young man put a charge into that. That's a big drive going to the opposite field. Gets the run in, gets the run over as well to third base, but I think he was looking for a little bit more than that in that situation.
Hargett made his way down to third. Bowden stays at first. Thompson, the sacrifice fly RBI. Stevenson scored the run after reaching on an E6. Cohen Pate, if he could get into one, could put his team 3 outs away from the national crown. Look at that boy. Look at that baby boy bend on the inside corner. Holy smokes, what a pitch.
He gave up on that one just a little too soon.
Yeah, well, so would I. Pate's reached twice. Fastball off the outside corner. Lefty versus lefty here. Pate walked in the second. Got himself a stolen base and scored a run. He drove in a run with a single in the third.
Well, I tell you what, just in a short stint for this young man on the mound, he has impressed me. That 0-2 pitch was borderline right on the corner, looking to get that called third strike. Didn't get it, but just the fact that he put it where he wanted to at 11 years old, I just can't say enough.
Oh. Boy, your natural instinct tells you get out of the way, but you know Pate almost got clipped with that.
Yeah, that ball was inside.
Little cue shot may fall, caught by the second baseman. Everyone will stay put. 2 men gone. So the drama builds as Ryder Romano comes to the plate. Romano started the ball game for his club. Battled this great Canes offense. Could he deliver the big blow to tie the ball game or give his team the lead? Again, bottom of the 5th, so basically the bottom of the 8th inning. You use the Major League Baseball terms. Base hit could tie it now.
I understand the reasoning of letting him go, but right now that puts the tying run in second base.
Agreed. I'd have gone after him.
If you get that third out before the run scores, then it's a risk-reward type of thing. And Coach Andy right there wasn't willing to take the risk for the reward. See how it works out for him here.
Walked him.
I don't have a problem with that pitch. 3-2, curveball down in the dirt. You had first base open. Maybe you're hoping that the young man gets himself out, swings over top of that. So, again, I just can't say enough about this pitcher from the Canes. He is a true pitcher by every sense of the word.
You wonder if that'll be the end of the day for him. That is the 11th walk earned or issued, depending on how you like to look at it, on the scorecard for SBA Bolts National. 11.
What's the saying? Living dangerously, right?
Yes.
Living dangerously on the edge. And they're going to make a move. They're bringing in a new one.
Aiden Baez it'll be. And he'll enter the fray with 2 men gone and the bases loaded with his club up by 2 runs. Tate Olson, who has a walk and a ground out on his ledger sheet, coming to the plate.
Well, what a spot for this young man. They asked him to come in with 2 outs, bases loaded, in the bottom of the 5th of the 2-run game. You got to believe the blood flow is flowing pretty good right here for this young man.
It'll be Hargett at third, Bowden at second, and now Romano at first. Canes put 5 on the board in the top of the second. And ever since then, the Bolts have been chipping away.
Chipping away, slowly but surely.
This is the first of our 4 national championship games that we know of guaranteed here on the Travel Ball Select Facebook page. We'll have the 9U championship coming up next. Always excited to see that one. Our youngest age group. Give everybody a quick preview. What do you think, Rick? 9U this week.
You know, 9U for me is one of the most fun age groups in this whole tournament. Those little guys will do some things that will amaze you that they can do at 9 years old. I've watched numerous 9-year-old games this week turning routine 6-4-3 double plays. I saw a 1-2-3 double play at the 9U division. This is not, again, I have to tell you, the TBS National Championships is not normal teams that you see on a day-to-day basis at your local Parks and Rec league.
Henry Perry is checked out. And Earl is in for him. So here we go. Baez is first. Is a strike. Again, Olson walked in the second, and he was down on a 5-3 ground out. when he started the fourth frame. So this is his second at-bat in as many innings. Strike on the outside corner. How about that? Oh, 0-2.
SBA trying to steal a run here. The runner at first goes a few steps and falls down, acts like he trips to try to draw a throw. But the Canes are not biting.
Off the corner.
And that's just the signs of a well-coached team. A lot of teams would go down for that runner that fell down thinking it's going to be a free out. Well-coached job there by Andy and his crew. Two waste pitches. Let's see if he comes inside here.
Got it away. Ball 3, by the way.
Yeah, but with
Too
two
tough for him to take.
strikes.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, man. You don't have to tell me.
At the youth level, Chris, the ball that comes in high is hard to lay off of because they can see it. They see that plane, and it's really hard to lay off. They can lay off that fastball that's slow, but that one that's about shoulder high is tough for young players.
To left. Got a chance to fall, but the left fielder comes on, makes the catch. Earl, who just checked into the ball game, and that will be the frame. The Bolts leave the bases loaded. They do add 1 to their tally sheet, and they trail 7-5 to the top half of the final inning. Top half of the final frame, perhaps, in the 2023 11U National Championship. Canes back to the plate with J.J. Nixon, Aiden Baez, and we'll continue on from there. Strike.
Well, the Bolts want to have any kind of chance of mounting a comeback here in the bottom of the 6th. They got to hold the Canes here to this 2-run lead.
To left and deep, down towards that line, and bouncing foul and out of play. Garrick Hargett came on in the 5th in relief of Ryder Romano, I beg your pardon. Held down that inning, did give up a run. The run was charged to Romano, however. Nixon 0 for 2. I beg your pardon, 0 for 1. With a sacrifice on his scorecard. Walked him. Oh boy. Lead off walks.
Yeah, well, Usually they come around to score. We'll see what happens here.
Well, they did 2 innings ago. That's only the second issued walk to the Canes, or earned by the Canes. Here's a throw down to second on the stolen base attempt, and he's got it. Nixon with the swipe. He's in scoring position. 13 walks in the ball game in totality for these two teams.
So the first walk that the Canes received, that kid come around and scored?
Absolutely right.
And they've only walked 2?
Correct. In the 5-run inning in the second, remarkably, there were no walks in that frame, but of course they also had 6 hits, and 3 of them were extra base hits. Baez has driven in a run with a base hit. He did that back in the 5-run second inning. And he was the young man who walked to start the 4th inning. He would get himself a stolen base, and he would later come around to score. Inside corner strike. Fastball. Oh, is there a chance he's throwing a 2-seamer? You see that ball? Looked like it ran in
had a little movement
on the
to it,
right-hander. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lefty, my oldest, who plays ball and loves it so much. He's a lefty, wants to be a pitcher. I try to teach him that 2-seamer.
That's a dangerous pitch for lefty, man. That's very effective.
2 strikes.
Nice job by the catcher hanging on to the foul tip.
Earl on deck. Bolts want to do everything they can to keep this a 2-run game, as Rick mentioned a moment ago. High with the fastball. Baez asking the count. 3-2. 3-1. No, I believe it is 3-2. Yeah, 3-2, Blue. No problem. We're all here to help each other. Another one of the great aspects of this tournament you put together. Kick and fire. Oh, he got him chasing. What a big strikeout, Rick.
That's a big strikeout right there. Big strikeout. Could have been ball 4, runners at first and second, but instead it turns into an out. That's a huge out. Because even with a ground ball out there, you probably move the runner over to third.
One man gone, one man on. Fastball stays high. Canes with a 2-run lead and trying to add to it. Dre Earl to the plate. His first at-bat of the affair, and he's squaring. Pulls back. Throw to third with the runner moving, and he swiped it. Earl with a chance at an RBI now with 1 man out. Earl has served as a courtesy runner all throughout this affair, and he scored twice.
Bolt's got to bring the infield. Oh, yeah, they are. They're bringing the infield in here.
Absolutely right. Swing and a miss. Again, your chances of coming back, even if you're a great team like SBA Bolts National, your chances diminish so greatly. The number is astronomical, the difference between a 2-run deficit and a 3-run deficit, especially in the final frame. Swing and a miss. 2 men gone. Here's Judson Willard. Willard 2 for 2, couple of singles. Had himself quite the time back in the second. Delivered his first hit of the ball game. That drove in a run. He would later steal a base during his trip to the base paths. and then eventually come in to score a run. 2 for 2, RBI, run scored, stolen base, 2 singles, and he's been caught stealing as well. Sweeper off the outside corner. Hargett walked the leadoff man, J.J. Nixon. Nixon has stolen 2 bases since. He's down at third with 2 men out after consecutive strikeouts. There's a strike on the outside corner of the fastball. If we get that far, Hunter on deck. Ground ball at first, and that will be the inning. So the SBA Bolts National from North Carolina will come to the plate in the bottom half of the final frame, knowing they need 3 to win the national crown. Want to remind you, this is just the beginning of our day. Coverage of the national championships on the Travel Ball Select Facebook page. The 9U National Championship game coming up next here on the .com. If the Canes win this one, we'll not be able to broadcast it, unfortunately. That's just part of it. We want to give all the age ranges that we can a chance to get their games broadcast. But if the Canes win, for all of you out there watching, they'll play a winner-take-all championship game for the national crown over on Field 6. And that ball game should begin within the, 45 minutes?
Probably about
half hour?
Half hour, probably,
right.
with after this one over.
Yep.
You can follow that game on Athletes Go Live. We have a broadcast on for their stream for that.
And they're 2 outs away. Brody Watkins hits into a 5-3 ground out. First time that young man has been retired so far in the ball game. Now with a walk, a single, a stolen base, and the 5-3. Here's Pierce O'Donnell. SBA Bolts, the North Carolinians from the Tar Heel State, going to have to come back from the bottom of the lineup. Bentley Blackburn on deck.
We now know who our 2-9.
Little cue shot into the bat at second. 2 men gone. So Bentley Blackburn, the last hope for the men in Tar Heel blue.
When I was coaching, Chris, if I was in this situation, I would tell this young man, get your toes as close as the plate to you as you can until you get a strike.
Blackburn 0 for 2.
Got to try to do something to get somebody on base here. I'd be towing right up next to that plate as close as I legally could get.
Ooh, hit him.
If we got a camera angle of that, that's exactly what he did. He was towed up right on that plate.
Yes, he
was. That's what those types of things happens. Notice I said legally, too. As close as he could legally get. You can see his toes, back toes are right on that white line, which is legal.
Whew. Just nicked his blouse. So here's Reed Reynolds. Needed another man to get the winning run to the plate. But if Reynolds could put a charge into one, he could tie us up. Takes a strike. Yeah. He too is 0 for 2.
Same thing. I would toe it up here till we got a strike. Now he's got a strike. Back off, get your normal stance here, and see if we can get a little rally going.
Well, if you do so, you've got great speed in these two young men. Right field makes the call and the catch, even if it was a bit hairy, and that is your ball game. So 7-5 will be your final. SBA Bolts National